If Isak is to go, they're going to need to bring in two strikers. I do feel the next 48 hours are going to be quite decisive in this race. And this is just the latest petulant attempt to try and force his move away. The only way is down when you leave Manchester United. The owners are maybe more keen on selling Alejandro Isak than Eddie Howe is.
Hello, I'm Angelina Kelly and welcome to The Window, talkSPORT's daily video transfer update and your go-to guide for all of the biggest football moves. Coming up, we will be getting the latest on Darwin Núñez, Alexander Isak, plus so much more. And joining me today is talkSPORT's chief football correspondent, Alex Crook. So first up, Crookie, you said yesterday on X that the next 48 hours feel pretty crucial if Manchester United are going to sign Benjamin Šeško. So is there an update?
Not as yet, but I do think the next couple of days are going to be quite telling in what is becoming another one of the sagas of the window. We know Newcastle's offer worth £70 million was made to Leipzig on Saturday morning. The German side weren't happy with the structure of the deal, but talks between the two clubs have continued over the weekend. Leipzig have also spoken with senior executives at Manchester United in the last 48 hours or so, although as we record on Monday morning, no formal bid has yet been placed. I know that United floated the idea of Rasmus Højlund potentially joining Leipzig to help sweeten the deal. He's not keen on that move. He's come out publicly in the last week or so and said he wants to stay and fight for his place at Old Trafford. The big issue for Manchester United is they've got four members of the so-called bomb squad that they're still trying to shift: Alejandro Ganacho, Jadon Sancho, Antony and Tyrell Malacia. And I think in an ideal world, they'd like to get some money in for at least one of those players before they can really table an offer for Šeško. But Leipzig won't wait forever, like Newcastle won't wait forever for an answer from Šeško. So I do feel the next 48 hours are going to be quite decisive in this race.
You mentioned outgoings there, Alejandro Garnacho. So reportedly, he's liked a post from Fabrizio Romano about Chelsea planning to move for the player. So firstly, will he ever learn? And secondly, do you feel confident that out of the names on the departure list, that this is one Man United can get done?
I think he would appear the most likely at this moment in time. Again, we reported towards the back end of last week that even if Chelsea sign Xavi Simons, that seems to have gone a little quiet, it should be said. That doesn't necessarily end their interest in Ganacho. Paul Winstanley, one of the two sporting directors in charge of Chelsea's recruitment, is a big fan of Ganacho. Talks first took place in the January window when Manchester United were looking for £50 to £60 million. Clearly that fee will come down with 6 months down the line. We know there's been a public fallout between Ganacho and Ruben Amorim, and this is just the latest petulant attempt to try and force his move away from Manchester United. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Unless you're Marcus Rashford, and I think he's very lucky to get that move to Barcelona, the only way is down when you leave Manchester United. So Alejandro Garnacho can like all the tweets that he wants. Ultimately, he's had the opportunity in a very poor Manchester United side to become a shining light and make himself a hero with the supporters, and he's done the total opposite.
I totally agree, Crookie. I know we've both been disappointed, shall we say, in his attitude. Switching gears now, though, Real Madrid's Rodrigo, he was linked with Arsenal as his future with Los Blancos remains pretty uncertain. But now their rivals Tottenham are reportedly interested after the departure of Son Heung-min. So could we see him in the Premier League?
I think there's a possibility. It's pretty clear his future lies away from the Bernabeu. Obviously didn't play many minutes at the Club World Cup. They've got so many options in attack. I think it's a problem for Xabi Alonso, the new manager at Real, to fit all those riches into one team. I know he's on Liverpool's list of potential Luis Diaz replacements. They like Anthony Gordon as well, but at the moment their main focus is on trying to prize Alexander Isak away from Newcastle. Arsenal, I think, are prioritising Eberechi Eze over Rodrigo. So it does open the window maybe for another Premier League team. He's on decent money over in Spain. We know Tottenham aren't the biggest wage payers in the country, so that may be an issue. I know that Fabio Paratici, sort of Tottenham's unofficial sporting director at this moment in time, has spoken with Rodrigo. That's as far as it's gone, but they've lost Son. Obviously, James Maddison suffered what looks like a really serious knee injury in their latest pre-season game against Newcastle. We feel for him, having missed the Europa League final at the end of last season because of an injury to the same knee. So they are a little bit short of options in those positions behind Dominic Solanke, who we assume is going to be their main striker once again this season.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see what Spurs end up doing, but I wanted to talk to you around the Liverpool and Newcastle situation. So Saudi Arabian club Al Hilal are targeting Liverpool forward Darwin Núñez. AC Milan have reportedly registered interest as well, but if Al Hilal get this deal done, it obviously gives Liverpool a lot more financial pulling power to get Alexander Isak from Newcastle. Al Hilal are owned majorly by the Public Investment Fund as a Newcastle United, who you could argue would be getting the raw end of the deal, which it seems crazy to me, but this looks like it could happen.
Yeah, I don't think the Milan interest is particularly new. I think that's always been lurking in the background. There are a couple of clubs in Italy, Juventus as well, I think, who've registered their interest in Darwin Núñez. Obviously, Napoli were keen at one stage, but they weren't willing to meet Liverpool's asking price, which we still believe is around £60 million. But the point you make is a really good one. If PIF are just going to plough £60 million into Liverpool to help fund a bid for Newcastle's star player, I think that will leave fans in the North East scratching their heads. If you're a conspiracy theorist, that might tell you that actually the owners are maybe more keen on selling Alexander Isak than Eddie Howe is.
And obviously, Isak has returned to training today with Newcastle. And if he does make the move to Liverpool and say Man United gets Shekou, are there other options for Newcastle? You know, PSG's Gonzalo Ramos, I think, has been linked.
Well, I think they want a top-class replacement. And even if they sign Johan Wissa from Brentford, and the Bees' stance does seem to be softening in terms of letting their want-away player leave, I'm not sure that he is a like-for-like replacement for Isak. I would say he's more of a replacement for Callum Wilson, who obviously they let go on a free transfer at the end of last season. He's now signed for West Ham on a pay-as-you-play deal. So I think if Isak is to go, they're going to need to bring in two strikers, Wissa being one, and then you're looking at the likes of Šeško, Ollie Watkins, Gonzalo Ramos, who you've mentioned. But obviously part of the issue with Alexander Isak and the reason that he's looking to leave is because he feels like he is worth a contract in excess of £300,000 a week. Now, Gonzalo Ramos is playing for the European champions. We know that Paris Saint-Germain pay big wages. I'm not convinced that he would fit into Newcastle's wage structure any more than Isak would. So I think that would be quite a difficult deal for Newcastle to do. What we can say is if they don't get a top-class replacement for Alexander Isak, I think they'll find it very difficult to sanction a move away for the Swede.
Well, there you have it, Crookie. Thank you so much for joining me. Remember, the window will be back tomorrow to keep you up to date with the latest rumours, done deals, and everything in between. But in the meantime, don't forget you can also stay up to date with transfer news via Alex Crook's transfer notebook on the website talksport.com. The window is in association with our own bookie TalkSport Bet. Download the app or head to talksportbet.com if you want to get involved. 18 plus T's and C's apply. BeGambleAware.org.